I love you, MrMarsian.
I'm the coldest nigga alive, if your man agrees. She say I'm the hardest and that's something she can guarantee. These niggas playing games, but life is not an atari. Wasabi, how I'm getting green on a roll, that's how I'm gonna achieve. Yeah, I heard your music, it put me to sleep. Niggas think they're ghosts, they're sheep. I'm the wolf hiding underneath, taking them 6 feet deep in the ground. Niggas dogs, put them in the pound, fighting for my crown cause I'm the K.I.N.G. These niggas envy your lyrics, shallow and empty. Might make you ponder, yeah, see, bring depth and complexity. Death is what I foresee on all those staying asleep. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Good night, good night, good night. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Yeah, If you like being mistreated, then girl, I'm not the one for you. I'm the type of nigga who gon' come for you. Type of nigga who knows it's only one of you. Type of nigga who gon' jump the gun for you. But they don't like that type of nigga. But that's my mama's son for you. Y'all think you got riz, but you make the girls uncomfortable. Rated X in the bush, I'm a baby. Never seen a rapper say the bees need saving. Why you only like her when she's misbehaving? Your intentions are so obvious, I see it in the oculus. My soul like an optimist, I see completed goals. Your life's a piano, every day is monochrome. But I live in shades of gold, man, I need the yellow bricks like the road. Can she really make a prince from a toad? Young fun never tends to get old. Wrists like the winter, it gets cold. I just need a hand to hold sometimes, cause my heart feels like snow sometimes. It gets hard, you could let it show sometimes. Sorry to go soft, but it's over, guys. Saying you can rap is lies. I pack my knives, target at the throats of giants. I am defiant, I'ma have a seat even if I ain't invited. Like at the high table. Yeah. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Good night, good night, good night.